Hello, this is a tutorial that demonstrates how you can use interactive infographics. Faculty and students have the ability to use this tool. It's called Infogram. You can see up here the address infogr.am will take you to the site, and you need to sign up and then eventually log in. You can log in with an email address. You can also log in, as you can see over here, with Facebook, Twitter, or your Google Plus account. And once you're in, you are now able to use non-linguistic representation, or infographics. And an instructional strategy of compare and contrast would be a good use, whether or not you as an instructor want to do some comparing and contrasting and have your students work with the information, or whether or not you want to assign students this type of task to have them create. So whenever you want to present data visually and then do some analysis, so you're talking about Bloom's level of taxonomy 4 or above, so analysis, evaluation, or creation, you could do a little application with it as well. But if you want to focus on presenting data and what the data means, then it's going to be the analysis level. And this will help students make connections. So once you open this up, you have these three areas here. Library is where you would go if you already had some created and you were either continually working on them or you wanted to pull up something that you had already previously created. But we're going to go to this create area and we're going to build from scratch. So you have some templates, you have some design templates here. So you can identify any one of these types of design templates. I'm just moving over to the side so you can see some differences here. So let's choose this one right here. We're going to say use design. Now you can do an infographics or you can do a chart, and they have these different types of charts here. So you can do a pie chart, pictorial, bubble chart, scatter chart, all these different types of charts. We've already shown a number of other tutorials on how to do charts. You can also do charts in Excel. So you could do charts here, but we're primarily going to show the infographics piece of this. So again, let's say this is the one we want to use. We're going to say use this design. And now what it does is it creates a bunch of placeholders for us here. And you're going to have the ability, as you add information, to just scroll through this area and continually add more things. Right now they're just coming up with a placeholder. So as it says here, if I double click, I'm going to get a spot to add a title. And I can add anything I want. And all I'm doing is just clicking in the box and adding whatever content I need. And then this is going to be listed as a quote here. If I double click to edit the chart, I have some choices. They have a fake chart already created in here, and it has some data. So we have some columns. Looks like we have some years, past GDP, and we have some regions of the globe, and then we have some numbers here. I can actually click in any one of these boxes and change the numbers. I can highlight an entire set and delete that information. So I can just edit the data, I can remove data, I can delete the data, or I can actually go and load my own data. I can come up and pull up my own Excel spreadsheet if I have something in here that I've already collected the data. If I'm going to add the data right in, I can just put the data in the existing box. I happen to have a test file of data here, and it's now loading. So I have my data placed in here. And so it has created the type of graphic for me, but it doesn't really, it looks like all of my data is over here, so it's not showing up in this area. This is not the type of, maybe if I do a pie chart, go that way, that will be a little bit better. Now, here we got a pie chart here, and this is where I could enter my data. I'm going to put this in again because I wasn't in the right mode before. I was in a scatter chart, so it wasn't as effective visually as I was looking for with the pie chart. And now we're uploading our pie chart. Okay, so now we have our data. Now, once you have your data placed in, you can see what it looks like visually. You can delete it if that's something you need. You can double click in here to enter any of this information and change it should you decide that it's not there. We can also change it, in this case, since we're using a bar chart, we could change it to a donut type of a chart. We could change the colors. We could adjust size. But let's assume that it meets our needs. We're good to go here. I could put some other type of chart in here. I can add an additional chart. I can add a map. I can add text and choose the type of text that I want to add. And the text is also, anything you add is going to show up down at the bottom. So as you're adding new things in this case. Whatever you want to do. You can also add an image, and you can add a video. You can actually go in and get a YouTube video and grab either the link or the embed code, depending on where you're going to place this. Generally, the link will work fine, and you can just add the YouTube URL right there. Click add, and you're good to go. You can also add a map. You can add, as we showed you, charts. You can add an image. Let's see, do I have any image here? Let's see. Scroll down to the bottom. So here's the image that I just added. So I can double click to resize it. Okay, let's assume that I'm done. One of the things that you like to know, we get rid of this one because it isn't anything that we want. One of the things that you like to know is, what does this actually look like on a website when somebody actually views this? So if you go up here, it looks like a little eye, and you click on preview, and it'll show you what this thing looks like. And the nice thing is that it's interactive. So as I take and I move my cursor, we can get information depending on how much information. I just had a basic chart that I put some numbers in, but the more sophisticated you can make it, you can have, this can show dollars, it can show units of sales, it can show population densities, whatever it is that this particular pie chart is supposed to show. If I had a video right here, this happens to be a picture, but if I had a video, I could just click on the little arrow that would be here that represents that you have a video ready to play, and you're good to go. So I can now close my preview. Assuming that I have everything I need, again, you can add charts, as many charts as you need to explain the data. You can add text to put little descriptions in there, or if a student is using this, they can actually put a paragraph, couple of paragraphs, they can put a citation in there. Whatever it is that you need them to do, they can put in the text box. They can add a map. So if it would be helpful, maybe you're doing sales by nation overseas and you would like to add a map, you could put that in there. You could add a picture, you can add a video. I showed some of those things. But when we're all done, we've now done the preview, which again is over here. Settings again allows us to change our theme if that's what we want to do. We could change the size. We have various ways to share it. We're not going to do any of that right now, but we are going to talk about share, because that is once a student has it done, or once you have it done as the faculty, how do I get it wherever I need to get it? I do want to point out here it says saved automatically. It's kind of very light gray on a darker gray-black background, so that might be a little bit more difficult to see. but saved automatically, just like things in Google Drive. There's an auto save with this application, so you don't have to hit save as you're building things along the way. So I'm going to now hit share, and now I have my title, I have my description, and then I have share options. And so in this case, I'm going to publish, and I have the ability to publish it to Facebook, publish it to Twitter, Pinterest, or view on the web. And if I click view on the web, I have what I need, and I've just created the URL for this particular infographic that I created, and all I would have to do is just copy and paste that and send it in an email, upload it to Blackboard, put it wherever I need to put it. You also have the ability, if you're embedding this in a website, you have the ability to grab the embed code back at the previous page. So hopefully this was helpful to you. Compare and contrast is a good use for this particular tool, and it allows your students or yourself to present data visually. These are known as infographics. Actually got that spelled wrong, don't I? So I'll have to fix that. Infographics, they're non-linguistic representations, and they can help students make connections.